I think part of it is, like, we just need to know where your kids are. Like, I could have a meaningful conversation with you today about, like, the behavior I saw and maybe why that's contributing to, like, performance. But you actually don't have your finger on where your kids actually are against where they need to be. And I think he needs to see that this is where my kids are, and I actually need to, I mean, he's at a school where 80% of the kids, or 70, failed the CRCT writing last year. And so he's also trying to infuse prompt writing. And so I think it's like, there's just a lot that's happening, but it's not all connected to this, the vision of being a writer, but like we can't start connecting pieces. I don't want to come in vision, because we've tried that. We started that, and it's not seeing it. So I'm going to try to go bottom up now, of like...
I think I bought into your rationale that starting with progress, getting him progress known, is the first right move for him, because that'll help him to use as a lever when he goes to these writing workshops, and then it can increase rigor. And I think it is more efficient for you to work on getting him progress known right now, because there are going to be other like levers that you can use to get him to increase rigor for the current stuff that he's teaching. How then are you going to help him to see like the trajectory for how this is going to make him more vision driven overall? Like, what does being progress known do to set him up for that?
I think something that's I want him to talk about his vision a little bit so then I can plug it in. But I think the thing is right now he doesn't have a 6+1 traits writing goal, but that's how he's using to assess his kids. And he wants to have a goal, we just haven't set it yet. His kids aren't invested in a goal right now for their ongoing writing, minus the CRCT in the future. We're all going to pass the CRCT, and like that's, it's not connecting, and that kids need to know what their progress is and where they are in relation to that. And so if you were using 6+1 as ongoing measures, then like we need to A, actually use them and know where our kids are, and B, have our kids rallied around them, why that's going to help them. Because as good writers, we need to have ideas that are strong, our conventions, how we're like actually investing them in the traits, because that could carry over also to the CRCT, not just like the writing. So like that's how I'm gonna, I mean, he knows, we've been back and forth about tracking for a month. Like he sent me his scores in the tracker because it wasn't working. We've tried to sit and track together for a while, but things have gotten kind of shifting the way we worked on his unit plan, because I wanted to make sure, okay, so maybe at the time we'd start tracking and realize actually he needs to understand what informative text means. That like we just had some times where we just literally sat down, he just explained his units to me and his objectives for a day and how he's doing to achieve that objective with his kids.
Cool.
So now that I've seen that unit in action, seeing like, is it really happening for your kids during this unit? Because the pre-writing isn't. I mean, I want him to come to that.
Last question.
Yeah.
From what you're going to do with him today, like, what do you think is the biggest, like, does he lack the skill right now to actually enter stuff into the tracker himself? Is that the reason why you are doing this together?
No, we're doing it together as a time-saving thing, because he was sick all of last week and was on and off missing school. And I think it's just one of those things where I want to do with him, because he's tried doing it by himself and it hasn't been completed. So I think making sure like we get it done tonight was a way to make sure it happens.
Okay. And I would ask him, like, is there another reason why it hadn't been completed? Like, literally, is it just because you were sick and like you didn't have the time, or is it that
it was a mixture of like we were supposed to do it together already, but then I mean, I'll be honest to the camera, it was a day that I was supposed to go to him and Erica took up my time. And so when Joe and I said send it to me, and then like the next time we meet we'll have it, and then the next time we met I deprioritized it because I thought he needed to have a better plan for writing, because he didn't know what he was doing when he switched into the content. So he did this like the week after he switched in, and then he was like, I don't know what I'm doing in my content area. So I kind of like said, okay, he scored it.
Yeah.
You kind of know your kids are all 2s, okay, like general snapshot, but you don't really know. Like now let's talk about content a little, and then we'll come back and revisit this once we have a better grasp over like that classroom.
So literally once you input this into the tracker together, like y'all are going to talk about what that means. So like he'll have all the averages, and then you'll share with him like,
some
this
students
is what
aren't here are missing, so it might just be like he has 3 classes, but for his class right now, there's only 1, 2, 3, he only sent me 5 kids, so it might just be like a next step for him is whatever we don't input, he's gonna have to do by like this weekend, so we could like still think that this is the right goal. But I'm assuming that a year of growth is like a 3 and then a 4, so maybe it is like kids are performing at a 4. 4 to 5. I don't know how to set the writing goal here, but I want him to like actually come up with the score and then making sure he understands what these things, like how is he doing all these things in his current unit, and then like when they're done with their essay next week, what do we think the outcome's gonna be based on what you know.
I feel like this is a very simple part of the process for him, like getting him progress known. He already has the actual data. It's literally just putting this into
I want
his
him
tracker.
to familiarize himself with the. I just
Like
want to
with
get it
the
done.
tracker?
Yeah, I just want to get it done with him, like
Okay.
because I think it's just one of those things when he's overwhelmed. He's been feeling sick, and he also has, I can't remember, but anxiety issues,
Yeah.
medication. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do it with him, and then the thing that I also wanted to do tonight, I wanted to first do this and talk about like his vision, but these are the like traits in his vision. Encourage respect and work ethic, and like how he's seeing that right now in his classroom or not, and then like let's actually come up with strategies together tonight.
Okay.
That was my plan for tonight. It's like first we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna actually discuss how this connects to the writing piece, and then these is how on his big goal. It's like how we're gonna get there is we encourage each other, we respect each other, and our work ethic. But like that's not in his class at all right now. So like you're not getting anywhere, and the ways that you wanted to get kids there aren't happening either. So actually coming up with strategies for those tonight. And then that's what we're going to do. And then put a timer. I'm going to come back after Thanksgiving break, after he's done the next assessment, we've looked at it, and seeing if I'm seeing evidence of these things.
Okay. And this is sort of the path that we think is going to get Joe to the place where he is being more vision driven, or he's more along the path towards leading his kids to a meaningful destination.
It's vision driven is more of a meaningful destination. I mean, I know it's like the same, but
well, I see vision driven as two things. Like they have the vision. The driven part, though, is how they're getting,
yeah.
like how
And right
they're
now
getting their
he's
kids.
driving, he's speed driving, but no one's on the boat. Like no one's with him on this.
Have you shared that with them?
I'm going to tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's exactly what I want to hear.
Great.
All right, like.